Greetings, Magic community. I'm Mike from MTG Scribe, and the sun is in the sky. I salute to the number one guy and his news. We're currently right in the heart of the smack of the dab of early access, Arena having just ended theirs right around the time this goes live, and Magic Online's set to start theirs on Friday, July 26th at around noon Eastern. This is a pretty important time as with Bloomburrow, we're getting standard rotation for the first time in 3 years. So we're saying goodbye to Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow, Streets of New Capenna, and Kamigawa Neon Dynasties. There have been a lot of really interesting decks that I've watched so far during early access. The Black White Life Gain deck is one that I'm particularly impressed by, as well as the Red White Mouse Valiant deck. Both of those have seemed particularly impressive. There's a couple of other interesting brews out there. If you haven't gotten a chance to check any of them out, I strongly encourage you to either check out Magic Online's early access tomorrow for live streams or keep an eye on YouTube for past streams that people are putting up from the Arena early access events. But it seems like it's a pretty exciting time for Standard. Unfortunately, it's not all good news. Uh, Blake Rosman, the PR director of Wizards, went on Weekly MTG this week and outright stated that there will not be an emergency ban on Nadu or on Grief and Legacy or in any other format. And instead, they're going to wait to take any kind of action until the normally scheduled BNR announcement date of August 26th. This is, I think, a little disappointing. Even if I understand some of their reasoning, Blake had mentioned that they didn't want to take any actions now because they don't want to return to the days of surprise BNR announcements. They want to give people confidence in the specific dates that they've set up are going to be the only times that they ban or restrict something. And while they understand that announcements happening in the middle of RCQ season, like August 26th, will be for modern RCQ season, they are going to take a look at their cadence of BNR announcements and try to figure out a way to uh, place them that won't cause this kind of issue in the future. He also announced that there will be rebalances coming to the red white energy deck in Historic. He didn't say specifically when those are going to be announced, but they will go into effect on August 6th. I think it's pretty likely that we see the announcement on next week's Arena announcements on Monday. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't play Modern very much, but it seems to me like this would have been a pretty easy action to take against Nadu and explain in a way that isn't necessarily to the level of an emergency ban. The entire reason that the last ban and restricted announcement happened when it did the week prior to the Pro Tour, the Modern Horizons 3 Pro Tour that we just had, is because Wizards was out of office the following week for summer vacation, which is totally fine. And then the week after that, it was the debut stream for the Assassin's Creed set, which means that it looks very likely that the most lasting impact the modern legal Assassin's Creed set is going to have on modern is in Nadu being left to run rampant for an additional month. I think that they could have pretty easily explained this was a one-off thing. This is only happening now because of the an unfortunate conflicts of events, and I think people would have been fine with that. I think people fully expect Nadu to get hit, and now that it's going to be another month, we're sort of in this weird limbo period of if you're someone like me who doesn't have a modern deck, what do I do? I can't really buy into Nadu. That seems absurd at this point. I want to take part in RCQs, but the best deck is almost certainly going to get hit at the BNR announcement on August 26th. So I'm not going to spend money on that. And if I'm not going to spend money on that, what am I going to do? I don't know if anything else is going to get hit. But even if it doesn't, I don't know what the meta is going to look like after August 26th. I just left Pioneer RCQ season, having bought into Waste Not because I thought that was going to be the right deck early on, and it turned out that that wasn't. And two dead decks and formats in a row are not something that I'm looking forward to. I personally, as someone who, again, would like to play in modern RCQs and to find a deck that I think could fit the meta that is within my budget, I can't do that now. I'm not going to play in a modern RCQ prior to August 26th. And as it turns out, I might not play afterwards. That's, I believe, a third of the way through the RCQ season. At this point, I may as well just wait until standard season or try to find a sealed RCQ that I can take part in. I think this is really unfortunate. I think it's really disappointing. And I think that it is the wrong decision. Again, I do understand their stance. I do think there is some merit to what they're saying, in that they don't want to have people afraid that ban and restricted announcements are going to happen whenever. But I think this is a specific situation that everybody would understand, where they did just take action now and not wait. And people would not panic. People would not think that it was going to happen all the time. This can be easily explained as a one-off situation. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, the rebalances to the red white energy deck are going to take place on August 6th, even though we don't know specifically what those changes are yet. I believe we'll find out next week, but that remains to be seen. Now let's talk about the World Championship for a moment. It isn't happening until October. There's still some time. We have to get through all of Bloomburrow, and it isn't taking place until after Duskworn is released later next month, 2 months from now. But a couple of interesting things came up. One is that the official invite list for the World Championships came out, and there are 116 entries, all of which we knew, except for one, actually. It turns out that Kai Buddha was not able to play last year, even though he was qualified, and they have decided to issue him a policy exception to defer his World Championship bid from last year to this year. So, great news. Kai Buddha will be playing in the World Championships this year, or at least is invited to the World Championships this year. And hopefully that means that he's going to be on hand to be able to hand out the first ever Kai Buddha Player of the Year award trophy. Which, speaking of the Kai Buddha award, um, Wizards also updated their point standings. And if you remember, right after the World Championships, they had listed Simon Nielsen as having 59 points. And I said that I thought that that was wrong. And it turns out that I was right. He should have had 57, which is what I had him at. I'm happy to say that this is the first year that I've tracked the Player of the Year race for the entire season. And my point totals do match up perfectly with what is listed on the website. So next year, I'm going to be more vocal and more. I'm going to point out the Player of the Year race as the year goes on, Pro Tour by Pro Tour. So we're going to talk about it after every Pro Tour next year, which is great. Again, only 8 players are mathematically eligible to win the award at this point this year. Uh, from 8th to 1st, we have Yuta Takahashi, Sean Goddard, Eli Cassis, Sam Pardee, Javier Dominguez, Jason Yee, Seth Manfield, and Simon Nielsen leading the way with 57 points. Simon has a 9-point lead over second place Seth Mansfield and a 10-point lead over third place Jason Yee. But at this point, any of those 8 players could win the Kai Buddha Award and be handed the trophy by Kai Buddha himself, which is fantastic. I do think that while I am personally rooting for Jason Yee, it is sort of appropriate for Simon Nielsen to win the award, given that he would have won it back to back. And I believe, although I'm not sure about this, that Simon would be the first back to back winner since Kai Buddha. So Kai handing the award to Simon as back to back winner to back to back winner would be pretty fun to see. But we'll keep an eye on that. I will go over the Player of the Year race again as we get closer to the World Championships. But it'll be fun to watch that over the course of the tournament itself. And finally, this week, a quick look at what is coming up in the next week or two on Magic Arena. for midweek Magic. Next week, we have the Jump into Bloomburrow event, as Bloomburrow is releasing digitally on Tuesday on both Magic Arena and Magic Online. The following week, we have a Bloomburrow constructed event. And then the week after that, there is what's just listed as Brawl. I assume there's going to be more to it than that, but as of right now, it just says Brawl. Uh, Currently, we have the Outlaws of Thunder Junction quick draft going on until July 30th. Once we hit July 30th, it switches to March of the Machines until August 9th. And then from August 9th to August 20th, we have Bloomburrow quick drafts. For other events, we still have Arena Cube on Arena at the moment. That is going to be lasting until the 30th. And then once we also we have the Adventures in Forgotten Realms Premier Draft lasting until the 30th. Once we get to the 30th, of course, Modern Horizons 3 will fall off the site. Outlaws of Thunder Junction will fall off the site, and we should just have Bloomburrow itself starting on the 30th. For qualifier events, next month in August is going to be the Bloomburrow Limited. So on August 3rd, we have the Best of One Plan, which is, of course, a sealed event. On August 9th, we have the Best of Three Plan, again, a sealed event. And then August 10th and 11th is the actual qualifier weekend, which will, again, be Bloomburrow sealed. So some good Bloomburrow limited action to look forward to, which we haven't had a limited qualifier in some time. Looking ahead to the Arena Open, the Arena Open is going to be taking. Actually, it looks like they did not update the Arena Open. Give me one moment. It looks like the next Arena Open will be taking place on August 17th and 18th, with Bloomburrow Sealed being the format on the 17th, and then Bloomburrow Draft 1 and Draft 2 on the 18th for the players that do qualify for it. Additionally, we have another Arena Direct event coming up this upcoming weekend, July 26th. That is going to be a Outlaws of Thunder Junction sealed event. Now, when they did the Modern Horizons 3 sealed event, it was just one box of Modern Horizons 3 that you could win. With the Outlaws of Thunder Junction event, you're going to be able to win 2 boxes per 6-win run for this one. And that is good news because one box of Arena or of Modern Horizons 3 is going for about $250 US, and 2 boxes of Outlaws of Thunder Junction is going for about $275. So a little bit extra value there, and I'm glad to see that they didn't limit it to just the one box per 6-win run, as I think that would have killed a lot of the value for this event. Glad to see they're doing a lot more of these, and I look forward to even more in the future. One last small thing when it comes to Magic Online, the way that they do their rotation is a little bit weird. So currently, the um, the new account starter kits will be including Bloomburrow cards, and these are going to be legal in standard leading up to Tuesday. But anything outside of those won't be available on the client yet. So it'll just be these in the new account starter kit, it sounds like, and any reprint that is entering standard. So the Bloomburrow Commons and reprints entering standard with the rotation coming on next Tuesday are going to be legal in standard only on Magic Online for the next few days. You won't be able to play them in any other format, just in standard. But there's a little bit of confusion there. So if you do end up seeing some Bloomburrow cards being played early on Magic Online, that's probably why. They're probably commons or reprints that are coming with the release of Bloomburrow on Tuesday. And that's all I have for you this week. I will be taking part in the Magic Online Early Access Draft on Friday. I'll be streaming from around noon until I'm not entirely sure when yet. It sort of depends on which queues are open. I had originally planned on drafting all day, but this is the second early access event that Magic Online has done. They're still trying to figure out the best way to allow people to play formats that they want to, and I'm not 100% sure that drafting is going to be available this Friday. Certainly, they're going to have sealed. So, at minimum, at noon, I'll be doing a sealed event, if not drafting, if that is available. And then I have a couple of other decks that I'm sort of interested in playing. There's a standard mono black discard deck because I can't help myself. And I do kind of want to try out my reskin of the Pioneer Waste Not deck that I had been playing. I have sort of a new version of it. I talked a little bit about on Tuesday. So I may try that out. I may try out that standard deck, and I will certainly be doing at least one, if not two, sealed leagues on Friday. If draft is available, I'll be doing that all day, but we'll see what happens. But that's all I've got for you now. Until next time, good luck. I hope tomorrow's a better day for you.